In other words, this pandemic has become the ultimate changing of the guard. But you might have missed it if you're not as plugged into what's happening with the younger generation. Fortunately, many of the younger investors love Mad Money. I run them all over the internet. I want you to see what they say to me. I want you to consider me the world's unlikeliest avatar of youth culture. First, these newer investors don't understand the appeal of index funds. You can't get rich with them. If you wait for the S&P 500 to admit Tesla, which they talk about all the time, you miss the best move of your life. The most interesting stocks might be gathered into ETF baskets that they experiment with, but mostly they prefer to do homework on individual names themselves because they know how to research on the internet. And yes, they'll buy calls, okay? Is that really a sin? Only if you do it irresponsibly. They're doing it pretty well as far as I can tell. Stock picking may be a lost art for most people over 30, but these kids are bringing it back. Second, they hate being told what to do. They know the smartest people in the world don't go to Wall Street anymore. They either try to break in at a tech company or start their own businesses now that it no longer requires lots of capital. Witness everyone making a killing on Instagram or Shopify or Etsy who starts a business, not to mention the businesses that get financing from Square. These aren't just cute developments, people. The stock market and the internet have freed millions of young people from their proverbial chains. We've now got a whole generation of younger adults who are basically raised by the World Wide Web. Now, I think we underestimate how empowering that is and how smart they are and how much they've learned from it. Third, these younger stock pickers, well, they're having a great year. We've heard over and over again that the pandemic accelerated the digitization of industry by 5 or even 7 years, maybe 10 years. Some of that's because of cloud adoption, but a lot of it is simply because the internet gives you cheaper, smarter ways of doing things. There's a whole wave of companies that exist to help you harness the power of the web without a computer science degree. Hey, by the way, that is actually the secret sauce behind Salesforce, behind Snowflake, or Zoom. You don't need to be a tech genius anymore. You just need a smartphone. The news about the pandemic has played out in their favor, too. Earlier this year, the pessimists warned us that it could take ages to get a functional vaccine. But between all the drug companies that got to work on it and all the governments throwing money at the problem, we're going to have a bunch of vaccines very, very soon. Why is that good news for younger investors? Because they're so collectively lacking in cynicism that they've been willing to buy the stocks of companies that will make a fortune once we beat COVID. Why don't we just talk about one? Okay, I'll just pick one. Well, I've been recommending Norwegian Cruise, okay? And we've caught a double here because I believe in management, and I know that they can borrow money, all the money they want. Wall Street cynics see the cruise lines as hobble companies, weighed down by excessive bond issuance and dilutive equity offerings. But they've been dead wrong for the last 4 months. You know when they're going to start liking it? I'll tell you one. When they do what I did last night, I saw an ad for Norwegian Cruise when I was watching the NFL. I mean, they got an ad already. They wouldn't spend that kind of money if it weren't for betting on a big comeback. Finally, these younger investors believe in environmental sustainability, not just as an ethos, but as a business model. They know there's money in cleaner energy. They like electric vehicles and hydrogen fuel cells. They take companies seriously when they talk about going green. Remember, they lack cynicism. They do their own research and decide whether to trust or not trust. When they trust, they pull the trigger.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.